You don't need all that. We've got like, we like collecting shit. I mean, I have the habit, and so does my wife. Yeah. We're not hoarders by any means, but do like old school Americana junk. Right?
Yeah.
But she's got an old 62 Caddy Coupe de Ville.
Nice.
It's dope. It's like full on West Coast. It's slammed.
Bro.
Supremes on it, white walls. It's pretty hard. Then we got an older Bel Air, and then I've got a 78 F250. It's a super cab.
Nice.
And then we got a few bikes as well.
That's cool.
But those are like things we've had for like ever.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, they've been with you guys.
Yeah.
They're not just shifting in and out. And I like the old school stuff. Like I've always said, like when I can, I'm gonna get an older hearse and just matte black, but I want to lower it West Coast style, but I want it to be fast because one of my main slogans is till death. And I'm gonna put till death in a blacked out decal on the back of it, and it's just gonna be this till death hearse that I'm just gonna be cruising around in. But I don't see hearses around. I'm like, I'm gonna rock that shit, dude. Yeah, it's happening.
Do that
one day.
Yeah. you see that kind of shit in California. You know, like people drop anything out there.
I've always appreciated like that West Coast look. Yeah, it's dope.
Yeah.
Hell yeah, man. Well, you ready to rock and roll?
I'm ready.
What is up, everybody? This is Joe Adams, and welcome to the Relentless Pursuit Podcast. What we do on this podcast is bring in guests from all different backgrounds, all different walks of life, to share their journey and everything along the way that led them to where they're at today. So if that is for you, check it out, because we're here to make an impact. And if that is not for you, I don't know what your problem is, but you need to jump on board today. Thank you. But without further ado, I would love to introduce today's guest, Mr. Joey Ornelas.
That's right.
Ornelas?
Ornelas. Yeah, that's me.
Damn it. You know what? There's 2 podcasts in a row I've jacked up the last name.
That's okay.
Yeah.
That's okay.
It's all good, man. Hey, it happens. Now I know. No excuses. But Joey, welcome, man. It's an honor to have you.
Thank you. Yeah, I'm honored to be here. I don't know how we crossed paths, but I'm glad you hit me up. I've had my eyes on you for a while. So yeah, it's kind of surreal. You know, we're face to face now, and I'm sitting at your desk.
I appreciate it.
Here.
Thanks.
Happy to be here.
Dude, I can't. No, it means a lot to have you here, man. You know, I've been rolling with this for a while, dude, and you know, people wonder, they're like, how do you get podcast guests? And I'm like, dude, I just ask people if they want to record. Like, I don't know. I get a vibe. I don't know. I just see their stuff. I'm like, oh yeah, that'd be a good, cool guest. Yeah. I don't know. I just reach out. No one really says no. And I liked what you got. I saw what you had going on. I was like, dude's got some tattoo. Like, he looks like someone I'd be friends with too. Right. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. I was like, I'm just gonna reach out to this guy, get him on here. So it worked out, dude. I'm stoked. And you've been making trips out of North Carolina too, right?
Yeah, I haven't done as many as you have. But I'm going on my second one. I'm leaving tomorrow morning too. And that'll be it for me.
Yeah.
That whole Hurricane Helene thing is mind blowing,
dude.
You know, so it's like we were talking about earlier, it's like you're on a mission. Like, I have to help more and more and more. I think a lot more people would feel like that if they actually saw what happened. You know what I mean?
That's the key, man.
Yeah. It's
hard to translate what you see, even through videos and pictures. But like when you're there and you feel the immense destruction, and then you feel just the energy, man. It's heavy. You're just like, oh, I get a little chills thinking about it.
I do too. It kind of gets me fired up. You know, it puts me like in the position, like, what if you live there? And your wife and kids.
It's right up the road.
You know what I'm saying?
Dude, I've gotten emotional talking about people. I'm like, dude, like, it could be, that's just right up the road. Think about it. It could be our families.
Yeah.
Think about that.
Yeah. I mean, for the people who don't know, so the area that I went to, Swannanoa, right near Asheville.
In there, yeah.
Biblical destruction, like completely catastrophic. I was blown away. We were driving down the street, and people don't understand this. And I try to tell people, they just don't believe it, right?
Yeah.
The water was higher than the telephone poles.
Mm-hmm.
There was, you know, like the semi-trucks you see on the road carrying like the tankers,
the
giant tanks on the back.
Yeah.
There was one of those stuck in the top of a tree.
Yeah, dude. I went out to Swannanoa too. It's insane.
Man.
Yeah, and there's people just living in tents, dude. It's heartbreaking, man.
Yep.
Yeah, that place, because you see, like, levels of destruction everywhere you go, just because the landscape's so different. But Swannanoa is just like flat all through that.
Yeah, and
that part of town, and the river's right there, so it just got annihilated. Yeah, the day I went there, I went to Bat Cave and like that Chimney Rock area that, and that was insane. I was like, what the heck? Yeah, and ended up in Swannanoa. But anyways, yeah, dude, it's insane, and you know, I'm doing this trip, try to just do some more, try to like at least go monthly. It's going to be a couple years, especially in those smaller areas before they're back to normal.
Oh, yeah. It's going to take forever.
Yeah. I go to Spruce Pine. I've been out there a couple times, going back. We're going to get some toys to some kids this weekend.
Cool.
It'll be a cool experience, man, because they lost everything.
Everything, man.
Yeah. It's crazy. Last thing on that, too, when you're driving to Spruce Pine, you're going through the valley. They had like 150 mile per hour plus winds there. And you're going through the valley and you get to like, all of a sudden you kind of come up on this windy road and you look at the mountains and every tree is flat.
Yes.
It's like, and it's not like they're crossed over. They're just like
flat,
all in the same direction.
Yeah.
It looks like a cornfield. Like when they're
exactly.
Yeah.
Like
but
you strike your lawn one way, you know, it's like, that's what it looked like in the forest.
Mind blowing, dude.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's gut wrenching, man. So, hey, we do the best we can. I wish it was easier to maintain support and get more people going, but you know, you can't focus on that, man.
Yeah.
You know? But anyways, well, real quick, thank you for your efforts, by the way. Real quick, tell us about it. Tell us what you do right now, you know, here in Murfreesboro, and then we're going to take it back. Just a brief little.
So right now, I'm a transplant here in Murfreesboro. There's a lot of talk about these transplants around town.
From Cali.
I am proudly a Californian here in Murfreesboro. Okay. But let's be honest here. We're not the type of people that are trying to change anything. And we're not trying to California your Tennessee, okay?
Yeah.
We're happy to be here.
So everybody chill out.
Yeah, so chill out. I don't want to see nothing in the comments.
Don't exit out of this episode, okay?
So yeah, we've been here for 3 years now. My wife and I, we own a company called Speakeasy Aesthetics. We are a full-service med spa. We do things like Botox, filler, PRP. We do lots of laser services.
Yeah.
Hair removal, tattoo removal, skin resurfacing, IPL, spider veins. We got a couple of really great estheticians. They do all of our facials.
Sweet.
We got another girl. She does permanent makeup, eyebrows,
yeah,
liner, all that kind of stuff.
A little bit of everything, man. I love the name, by the way. Yeah.
Thanks.
That's cool.
Yeah.
I mean, everyone knows what Speakeasy is, but you don't hear it for like an aesthetics place, and it's just, it's cool.
So we decided on that name during COVID. And our business used to go by another name when we were still in California. But COVID came, and it was much different there. COVID was much different there than it was here, from what I was told.
Yeah.
I mean, they were like not letting people go to work, you know, like keeping people out of their office. They locked us out of our office. We'd still go back, and they finally locked us out. Then we'd still go back, figure out a way in, you know, and then they cut our power, cut our water. Meanwhile, we're trying to build this business and all these clientele, you know, these people are still reaching out to us like, hey, I still need my Botox. Like, can't you just let me in the back door? Or like, can't you just do it in the parking lot? Of course we couldn't. That's illegal. Okay. But we thought, you know what? Like, this is kind of a speakeasy style, you know, it's like, it's really hush hush. You know, let's just, how about this? Why don't we double down, increase the size of our place, and change the name and see what happens during COVID. And it worked.
Dude, that is badass.
Yeah.
Super cool, man. It reminds me of this book I'm reading called The Obstacle is the Way. And it talks about people in history that like they were faced with an obstacle, some crazy obstacles, and they used that as the opportunity. And like, that's what that was. Y'all found an opportunity in the midst of that. While a lot of people just tucked tail or whatever, a lot of people were like, screw this, I'm not messing with it. Mm-hmm. And y'all found an opportunity and you grew from there. So that's pretty badass. You don't hear much about that, you know, with businesses related to COVID. So that's awesome, dude. Hell yeah. Well, keep rolling with it.
We are, dude. We are on a mission right now. You know, and it's like every day I wake up and it's like the mission continues.
It does.
What are we going to do?
Yeah.
Well, we know what we're going to do. We're going to get our asses to work. You know, we're going to advertise. We're going to meet new clients. We're going to, you know, make friends. We're going to work our asses off. We're going to stay educated on the latest and greatest treatments in the industry. We're going to provide a great service. and we're going to educate our clients.
Yeah. Y'all get some new stuff. I'll be your test dummy. I'll talk about it on the podcast.
I mean, I don't want to seem too overly confident, but, and this is what I was telling you about before we got started, right? We have, we have a mindset that I'll get into in a second, but, as far as new stuff goes, we always have the latest and greatest.
Nice.
Have you heard of, the salmon DNA?
No.
You will soon. We've already got it.
Whoa. Honey, yeah, you're gonna have to explain that to me.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
I'm not going to explain that to you because that's an injectable. That's my my wife's wheelhouse right there. I'm the laser guy. But she can tell you a lot more about that stuff.
I'm writing that down because I want to learn about it. I'm about to get her on here.
Yeah.
Hell yeah. Well, nice, man. We'll dive into more. We'll get to the business side of things and, talk about some of the things that y'all do. Because I'm pretty like, I don't really understand all of it, to be honest. I do like TRT and that's about it.
Yeah,
So,
yeah.
But let's take it back. Let's take it back to the early Joey days. Where obviously you're from Cali, and I'd assume you were born there.
Yep.
What part?
Arcadia Methodist was the hospital, and that's Arcadia, California, LA County.
LA County.
Yes, sir.
Nice. Big city.
Big city.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I guess.
Concrete jungle is what it is.
Yeah, it is. It is, man.
Yeah.
So, yeah, tell us about that, man. Tell us about, going through school and just take us through the journey.
So little Joey was a pretty good kid. I was always pretty quiet, always athletic, always on my bike. School, let's see, what's notable. I was always an athlete. I was always playing sports. That's kind of what helped me excel.
Siblings, both parents, or, how was the family dynamic, I guess?
So family dynamic was good. My parents did get divorced, I think, when I was like 11 or 12. That was kind of a turning point for young Joey. And then my sister. So I've got 2 sisters and a brother. Brother and sister are step, and then my other sister's blood sister.
Okay.
Her and I grew up together, and then when my parents split up, she went to live with my dad, and then my mom remarried, and I moved in with my future stepdad.
Okay.
And his kids and we went from LA to Orange County.
Okay.
Which was a culture shock.
Yeah.
'Cause like where I grew up, kids on lowrider bikes, like the whole kind of street lifestyle.
Yeah.
Was more of a thing. We got to Orange County, and I was the only kid on a lowrider bike with a bald head. Can you hear me okay?
Yeah, I
Okay,
can.
all right.
Yeah, you can bring it a little bit closer to you.
But yeah, that was culture shock. So life starts in South Orange County, Lake Forest, formerly known as El Toro. That's where I started going to middle school and then high school.
Was it like you said, the lowrider bike? I mean, I'm trying to guess. Like, I'm trying to see what that is. Like you said, culture shock. Was it like, I don't know. What was the difference in the neighborhoods? I guess you could say.
So I grew up Mexican, right? So I'm Mexican and Irish.
Okay.
I mean, rice and beans was, beans, rice, and Jesus Christ is what I always say. That's what I was raised on. It's just different, like Orange County is just much different than LA County. Depending on who the listener is, they would know what I'm saying, but Orange County is more wealthy.
Oh, okay. So you moved to like a wealthier area, I guess you could say.
Yeah, there's more white people, and less of the others.
Less low riders.
And not less low riders. Yeah, that's what I mean by others. By the way, yeah. That sounded bad, but it's just they would say it's a more higher class area.
For sure.
So that's where the culture shock comes in.
Yeah, and you like you said, that was after a divorce, and your life's changed a lot. So what was like the trajectory then, moving forward?
It was just to be a good athlete, man. Like I just wanted to excel in sports.
You're you're a bigger dude. I didn't realize you were like as stout as you are.
Yeah, dude. For some reason, I thought you were short.
Really?
The only reason I made that judgment is because when I watch your burpee videos, like you're so nimble. You know what I mean? Like you hit the ground so easily. And it's like short guys can typically do that. Like
that's just a
make
lot
it
of
look
burpees.
really easy, you know? So
Yeah.
you're on like, 65,000 or whatever it is.
Yeah.
I think you got it down.
Yeah. Yeah, man. That's funny as hell though. No, not short. Yeah. I've actually been told that before too. I'm like, what gives you the impression? But yeah, I guess the burpee video makes sense. So athletics, what was your thing? Like,
I was one of those kids. Really, I could do it all. And I was fairly good at everything. I played baseball growing up. I quit playing that when I started getting more serious with football, just so I can put on more size,
Yeah.
It was mainly football in high school. I was really good at throwing shot and disc as well. Played basketball for, I think, a year. And I wrestled for a couple of years too.
Nice, man. Doing all of it.
Doing all of it.
Did you have aspirations of playing like in college or anything like that?
No, I thought it would be cool, but I was never like, I'm going to be a pro football player one day.
Yeah.
That was never me. It's like, I'm just down to play right here, right now.
Nice.
That's
what it was all about.
Whatever comes. Yeah. I wanted to, the only aspirations I had as a little kid was to be a firefighter. That didn't work. But I joined the military.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, man. Was that like a pretty easy decision, I guess you could say?
Yeah, it was because, so here's a young Joey story. When I was a kid, me and my mom, we were in the mall. I was probably only like 6. It's like one of these early memories. It's when, Desert Storm was going on. And I saw these 2 guys walking around in BDUs, in their fatigues. And to me, it's like, I'm looking at them like these, like they're these giants, real life heroes.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, there they are. And he reached over and he gave me something. I think they were recruiters.
Mm-hmm.
But he gave me like a piece of caution tape, and it's like 4 feet long. And all it said was Operation Desert Storm. And I kept that thing for years. I think I still have it somewhere. Like, I still want to find it. But that was the first motivation I had to join the Army.
Nice.
And then fast forward to my, junior year in high school, I think.
Yeah.
9/11. I remember
I was in middle school at that time.
Wake up one morning before first period, I'm eating pancakes on mom's couch before I go to school. And the news is on, and I was watching, and then I watched the second plane crash into the Twin Towers, and I just had like this overwhelming feeling. Like, I had the chills so intense. Like, I was all in, because I felt like, this is fucking bullshit. Like, who are these people attacking us Americans? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I was pumped, dude. I was pumped. So right away, I'm like, I'm going to join. I'm going to do my part. I'm going to Iraq. I'm going to get the t-shirt, and I'm going to come home.
Nice, man. Yeah, you were at that age too, to where like you had that desire to do something about it. I was in 6th grade, so I really didn't understand the capacity as like, fast forward, obviously. But yeah, 6th grade, I'm just like, man, that's a crazy disaster. But I'm not like, oh man, I'm gonna go fight against these guys.
Yeah.
But then I ended up joining. But yeah, it's pretty crazy, man. Yeah, different seasons. Yeah, but it fired you the hell up.
Dude, it fired me up.
So you signed up right then?
I signed up. No, I think I took my ASVAB the next year, just to see like where I would place and what kind of job I would get. And I went, after I graduated high school, it was almost a full year, and then I enlisted.
Nice, dude.
Yeah.
So grade school was pretty much sports, and you focused on that. You were a decent kid, you said.
Yeah.
What do you think were some big influences that shaped who you are today that maybe you can reflect on? I don't know. Do you still have a relationship with your dad, mom, or whatever? Like, what are some things you can maybe recall that like hit you?
That just hit me right now. So I lost my dad 3 years ago. Huge turning point in my life. Yeah. We can talk about it if you want, because I'm open to it.
No, please do.
What is this ritual you keep talking about? Do you guys go out there and like do peyote or what?
No, typically we'll do mushrooms. So we'll do ritual. Depends on the season, right? Just say it was Samhain, right? We're honoring the dead, or it's midsummer ritual. It'll be about the sun. Every theme's a little bit different, but we'll get together for ritual weekend, and like typically Saturday night, we'll kind of let ritual organically produce based off of like just the energy there, and then we'll do ritual, man. So we'll do a fire, and we'll do offerings, and we'll chant to the gods, and we just do this really powerful thing, man.
Dope. So you're like a real pagan.
Yeah, 100%, man. It's very holy to us, man. Like we take it very seriously.
I love that.
Yeah.
I don't know anything about it, but my imagination goes to the intensity.
Oh, it's intense.
That goes into it, and I think that's fucking cool.
It's intense. A lot of things people like, we haven't done it in a long time, but one time where, we sacrifice a little lamb, and like people think it's so like, oh my God. And it's like, well, if you look at any religion, at some point they did things like that.
Yeah.
And like to us is like, we're giving this thing the most holy death it could have. Mm-hmm. And we're also in tears doing this because you feel that energy, man. Yes. It's also like an offering, but we try to keep it rooted in tradition as much as possible. Mm-hmm. While it's still our thing though, we're creating our own traditions, but we try to keep it rooted in these things. It's cool. And my wife's Christian, but she, every once in a while I'll go to church with her for something.
That's cool.
And I sit there and I respect it, like, of course I'm well read in the Bible too. So I'm like, I like decipher things in my head, but I don't push her. I don't bash it. But she'll come to ritual stuff. Like not all of them, sometimes just the patches, just the guys, but like for midsummer, right? That's a bigger event. So we'll have some friends fly in, like my buddy is flying in from Colorado next summer with his newborn. His son will be over a year old and his wife, so they can meet, and the girls will prepare all kinds of food. My wife does like sourdough and all that stuff, and so they'll prepare all this.
She make her own sourdough?
Yeah, dude, she crushes it.
Look, I've been trying this fucking sourdough starter thing for like 2 months, and I mess it up every time.
I'll get you the foot in, dude. I got you. Hell yeah. The goal is to eventually, in the next several years, is get a land that's kind of centralized, that we can make our holy land.
You have your own dirt, dude.
Yeah, and like make that a thing, put it in a trust, and just pass it down through the Hurry.
Yes,
that's the goal. It's not easy to do that because it costs money. Mm-hmm. So, but we're working towards that. But we always just have such a blast whenever it is. Yeah. So wherever we get together, like the thing is that the intention is it's the action of doing so, right? Like every time I go, even if I got to drive 8 hours, like I'm pumped up. Mm-hmm. But then there's been people in my life, they're 10 minutes away and I'm like, oh, you see what I'm saying? Yeah. So it's always feels like that, dude. And that's where I know, I'm like, yeah, this is where I'm meant to be. I've got that oath with them and it's powerful. Now diving into, where we're getting to your father and stuff like that. Yeah. So I'll let you take it from here.
Yeah. So the original question was, something like who I looked up to or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
And it was always like older, like roughneck men.
Yeah.
I don't know why. I mean, I have an idea why. Like my dad, he was a construction guy. I was out there, I'd probably be 7, 8, 9 years old, carrying blocks around the job site with him, helping him pour driveways.
Yeah.
All this shit, and from his perspective, what he was doing is he was teaching me how to have grit. You know what I mean? He started doing that when I was just a little guy. So I think that's why I always looked up to men like that.
Yeah, of course.
And of course I have a very soft spot for my mother. I always looked up to my mother too for, having as much patience as she does.
Yeah.
Yeah, like I was saying, I lost my dad a couple years ago, and it was rough. It's still rough.
Yeah.
Still rough every single day, and I have like a little altar for him in my shop.
That's cool.
You walk in, you don't see him, and it's kind of trippy. Like, I don't know if you're like a guy who like believes in vibes
100%
and stuff like that, but we are. Me, my sister, my wife, my kids, my stepmother. you walk in my shop, you can't see the picture of my dad or nothing like that. Because when you stepped in, it's on the wall that you walk through. It's right behind you. When you turn around, everybody's like, oh my God, there he is, Anyways, the point where that story was, I think her and my sister, when they came to visit me, they first walked in the shop and they're like, oh, he's here.
Like you feel his presence.
He's here.
Yeah.
And then they turn around and it's like, oh my God, fucking full tears.
That's wild.
Like one of those type of things.
Yeah.
But yeah, man, I lost my dad. Huge, huge, huge thing in my life. I can be honest, I've kind of been lost without him.
If you don't mind me asking, if you could say something to him right now, what would you say?
Why you're playing with my emotions right now?
I've asked that question to people that have been through some loss too, and it's always very powerful to reflect on that, man.
I don't know what I would say. I would probably tell him, let's fucking go.
Yeah.
Let's fucking go.
Yeah.
And when you tell your father that, it don't matter what it is.
Yeah. But
let's fucking go.
Yeah, for sure.
You know what I mean? You get that? It happens.
That's the first time this has happened on a podcast.
Patience, right? I see you getting all fucking red-faced.
But yeah, so you tell your dad, let's fucking go.
Let's fucking go, dude.
That's cool.
He was, so look, I'll just add a little texture to the topic. So when he wanted to, it was my first tattoo. And I tell him when I was younger, I was like, Dad, I want to get tattooed. What do I get? He said, I don't know, get whatever you want. I was like, well, I want to get a tattoo with you.
Yeah.
What should we get? He's like, whatever you want, I'll get. I was like, all right, cool. Well, how about me and you? And he got it, right? I didn't need to explain it like I need to explain it to other people. It's like me and you.
Yeah.
Always, So I got it tattooed. He got it tattooed. I would say let's fucking go to him. When he was in the hospital, we would always, like when we used to ride together and he would go to his house and I'd, veer off to go to my house on the freeway or whatever.
Yeah.
One of us would pass each other completely wide open, right? Just fucking flying, and we would just have our fist in the air.
So he rode too?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it was just like one of those things in the heart, it was like you know what I mean? Like, power.
Yeah.
You know what
cool.
I mean? I love you, fucking power, fuck yeah, all that stuff. You know what I mean? That's what the fist meant to
So
us.
many things being said through
so
that
many
fist.
things.
Yeah.
Well, when he was in the hospital, my emotions were getting the best of me one day. And you never want to show weakness in front of your dad, especially as a full-grown man.
Mm-hmm.
I had a tear in my eye. I wasn't crying. I was really trying not to cry. I thought he was asleep. And he looks over at me. And he gave me a thumbs up, like, I'm going to be okay.
Yeah.
And then he gave me the fist. Like, I fucking mean it. You know what I mean?
Damn.
So let's fucking go.
Just little subtle stuff. That seems to be like kind of the dynamic with you and your father too. Like there was like those subtle things like the fist that just meant everything.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah. It's like you and your best homeboy. You know what I mean? Like you guys probably don't even need to share words, and you can just look at each other and just whatever your mannerisms are, you guys are on the same page.
100%.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Words don't need to be said.
That's cool, man.
Yeah.
Well, interestingly enough, too, I want to say my dad didn't get one, but he was actually with me when I got my first tattoo.
Cool.
And it says family, and it says forever upside down. So
awesome.
I wanted to do something with family too. So very similar,
yeah,
kind of thing. But my dad was with me. I was in tech school for my training for my job in the Air Force, and he came and visited, and like went off base. I was like, I want to get a tattoo, Dad. A family tattoo.
Yeah,
like, I'll go with you. He didn't get it, but it's still it's close. Maybe I should talk to him. But Dad, you gotta get this same tattoo. It's time. But yeah, man, that's dope, man. Well, thanks for sharing that. I know it's obviously still you're working through that, but at the end of the day, man, and I always like to point this out with loss, especially deep loss like that. what matters is the life you live, because you carry their spirit with you
Yes.
when they go, you know, and it's like, how can you carry their spirit in the best way possible? You know, and that's something to always reflect on, like, hey, in a way, you're telling your dad, let's fucking go, and you're on this journey. He's right there. You know what I'm saying? So, hey, man, he'd be proud of you.
Yeah, thanks.
For sure. Hell yeah.
Thanks.
Thanks for sharing that, dude. So, moving forward into adulthood, military man.
Yeah.
Let's talk about that a little bit. How long were you in the military?
I did 7 years in the Army. I was an artilleryman. Yeah, I joined. I didn't get the best score on my ASVAB. So so when you're down at MEPS, right? I don't know if it's the same for you guys.
Yeah, I do MEPS.
And then they go over your GT score and you're like, they tell you, these are your jobs that you can pick from.
Yeah.
Right. I think the first time I went, they're like you can be a cook. I want to say it was something lower than that. You know, like, I think they said something like you can do like,
you can clean the dishes for the cooks.
yeah, something like that. You know what I mean? And I'm like, fuck that, dude. Yeah, I came to go to war.
Yeah.
That's what I'm gonna do, you know? So I literally stood up. I was like, oh, fuck that, I'm out, dude. And he's like, oh, hold on, you know, let me see what else there is, you know? He says, how would you like to be a cannon crew member? I said, what is that? He says, you're gonna shoot big bullets really far. I said, oh, that sounds cool. Sign me up. You know what I mean? So yeah, I did that. Did boot camp and my AIT at Fort Sill, Oklahoma. That's where all the artillery people do it. Yeah. From there, I got stationed at Fort Lewis, Washington, which is just south of Seattle in Tacoma. I think they call it JBLM now, Joint Base Lewis McChord. Anyways, we're stationed there. And then we deployed in 07. I think 07, and then we came back in 08. I had such a hard on to go, dude. Like I was requesting, like, I want to be the first person from our unit to go.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, how do we do that? And they're like, well, there's this thing called Torch Party. You have Torch Party, Advon, or Torch Party, Advon, and then Main Party, whatever. So we got there like a few months before the rest of the brigade. You know, we weren't fucking doing anything because we were in Kuwait.
Yeah.
You know, like, dude, I was eating like midnight chow every day and, you know, going to the gym for several hours a day and just playing pool, you know?
Yeah.
And it was cool, you know, like you're still in another country. Yeah, and then when the main party got there, we went to our AOs in Iraq, and it was zero artillery. Okay, we didn't do any artillery, and I have these conversations all the time, these debates and these arguments with other infantrymen. Our unit, our artillery battery, it did more infantry stuff than both of our infantry units in our brigade.
Oh, really? So you were out there quite a bit.
Yeah, I got stories. So typically, I wanted to bring you a gift today. I'm usually really good at bringing gifts, and I think you would love it.
All right.
But if you have me back on, I'm going to bring it next time, and you're going to to put it somewhere.
Dude, you can just,
cool.
Even if I don't have you on, you just come hang out.
No. You can have me on again.
Yeah, I will.
No, but so yeah, we did a lot of infantry stuff. Shout out to the infantry guys. You guys are idiots, and you do a good job.
Yeah, hell yeah.
King of battle, right? So artillery is king of battle. We always go back and forth with infantry because they're the queen of battle. Okay. Anyway, so yeah, we're in country doing our thing. You know, we're always on foot.
Yeah.
We're kicking indoors daily. We did lots of raids. There's lots of shooting, lots of people getting blown up a bunch of times.
Damn.
All the stuff, you know. I got hit 3 times in one day once. Dang. Not by any shrapnel, by the grace of God. I did not get hit, but I was danger close every time.
Dang, man.
Lucky.
So what would you say the experience was overall for you? Did it mess with you any, or were you like, yeah, I got to go do what I wanted to do? You know what I'm saying?
I got to, so.
I mean, because you sounds like you did.
I did, yeah. That the shirt I mentioned that I wanted to get earlier, I got the shirt and more.
Okay, yeah.
So I don't know. I think my story's a little different. It may be, it may not be, because there's a lot of guys that join the military to go to war, right? Yeah. Some guys might want to join the military to do certain things. You know, I joined because I wanted to go, you know, like I was saying earlier, get my boots muddy and, you know, scuff my knuckles. Like,
yeah.
I'm all in. So as far as that goes, I think I don't think my like PTSD was as bad coming out.
Yeah.
Because I got everything I wanted and more, you know, and it's like, I got a pretty juicy imagination. And like when stuff would happen, I'm like, well, fuck, is what it is. You know what I'm saying? To where it's like, you know, the guys whose parents made them join the army and they just happened to go to Iraq, they see that shit and they're like mind blown, scarred for life.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, I don't really know, you know, because it's like we're all different. You know, we all process trauma differently.
Of course.
My remedy for getting through things mentally is to tell my story and to tell people what I saw in Iraq, what I did in Iraq, how it makes me feel, how I cope with things. But talking about it more, talking about it all the time is what helps me. I'm an open book when it comes to that.
Yeah.
Because usually these guys are closed off.
They just kind of bottle it in.
Yeah. They're just, and I mean, don't get me wrong. I got a lot of shit bottled in right now. You know what I'm saying? But we're here talking. We're hanging right now. I'm good.
Of course.
But a lot of guys bottle it up. Maybe they don't have somebody to talk to.
Yeah.
Maybe they're insecure and they're afraid that they're going to think they're weird. You know, people are going to think they're weird or
judge
stuff like that.
Yeah.
You know, like whatever it may be. I believe talking about it helps.
Yeah.
You know, to whereas a lot of guys think I'm not talking about this shit.
Well, it's the same, you know, it's like, think about it. Like people knock therapy, but you're really just going to somebody to talk about your shit.
Yeah.
Like that's good for anybody.
It is.
Yeah. Like you can't knock it. Not everybody's crazy because they go to therapy. They just need to talk about it with someone that's a professional in it.
Yeah.
I do it. You know what I'm saying? I've got a mentor too.
Yeah.
And like that shit's so good for you as a person. And I think a lot of people just don't have anybody they can talk to, or they don't have anybody they can trust to talk to. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? So do you kind of mentor guys with that? Cause it sounds like you do discuss that with people, or that just is what works for you and helps you out.
So when I was still in California, I did some like peer support, mentorship kind of stuff, you know, like never on anybody's books or anything like that.
Yeah.
But like just for the well-being of your own brother.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Of course.
Just to help out another man. Go fishing, hang out, go mountain biking, go for a bike ride, you know, whatever, you know, but set aside the time to tap in and actually talk, you know, and share some words, you know, soak up some emotions, whatever it is. You know, I haven't done any of that out here. I just don't really know anybody yet.
Yeah.
And I'm on a different mission.
Yeah, for
you know
sure.
what I mean? Like that's still near and dear to my heart, big time. But you know, I got my girls out here. You know, we've got our kids out here. You know, me and my wife, we changed our life, moving out here. You know, like we're on a new chapter.
Well,
you know,
because you could do that mentorship, but you already got a lot going on,
right.
And like there's only so many things you can do at once. You know,
yeah.
Because I mean, I've tried to do so many different things at once, and it burns you out. You got your focus, and right now that's your business and your family. What it sounds like, and I mean that's a good place to be.
Yeah, it's cool. When the opportunity comes to me, I think it's an opportunity to possibly help another man.
100%.
Or anybody, not just a man, even a woman, you know?
Yeah.
But when the times come, like I do take advantage of it, you know, like if someone comes in, like for example, you know, maybe a client or somebody who recognizes us or anything, you know, if somebody wants to talk about life and emotions and trauma and all that stuff, like I'll spend some extra time with you.
Well, dude, if you ever need somebody to talk to, I'm here, man.
Yeah. You're going to be
100%.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. I feel like,
that.
Yeah, I feel like, you know, I feel like we could help each other a lot actually, you know, but just based off the conversation that started before the camera, you know, just kind of expressing things. I think, you know, and it's cool to find that. And especially when you're an entrepreneur, you got your own business and stuff like that, to find people that are, you know, obviously different businesses, but that are on that journey, but also have that like mind of wanting to help each other in that way, because you don't see that as much. Because for me, I've expressed it plenty of times. Like I feel there's a lot of times I just feel super isolated, like on this journey. I'm just like, dude, I'm over here grinding. Nobody see, and you know, and it's like, it's part of it. And I'm learning a big lesson there, which is cool, but it's also like, it does get to you sometimes. And you're like, who do I talk to about it? You know, because a lot of people, and not to knock anybody, will be like, oh, I get it. And it's like, I'd never clock out. I never clock out, man.
I understand.
I go to bed and I'm like, oh man, I got to put down this note for work. I wake up and I'm like, oh, yeah, you know, it's just, there's no clocking out. So it's hard to.
Don't ever check your emails right before you go to bed.
I've done it before. But
yeah, I think what you're talking about is very important. You know, like you're a business owner, and you're in the beginning stages, right?
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know how long has it been?
So, I mean, I haven't even been in this building 3 years yet. So still early on. I've had RP going for 5 years, but it started over once I moved in here.
Yeah.
You know,
it's just, you know, the life of an entrepreneur, man, you know, and that comes with the territory. Like I was saying earlier, you know, it's like, you want to go to Iraq? Yeah, I do. I'm ready. I want to see this. I want to do this. I want it all. I want the smoke. Yeah. You want the smoke.
Oh yeah. 100%. Yeah.
And that's just the way it is. Yeah. That's how it goes. You know, you'll feel lonely. You'll have your ups and your downs. Me and my wife, we've been through it a lot.
Yeah.
And I can tell you what is extremely, like, something that is so huge to us. We love it so much. We are extremely grateful for this. Where we come from, people don't break bread together like they do here.
Yeah.
So for example, like last night we had our Christmas party. We had over 100 people show up.
Sick.
And everybody was stoked. Everybody had a great time. We had great food. We had drinks, awesome vendors, friends, family. I had my wife talk me into dressing up as Santa.
Nice.
So that was cool. Santa drank too much bourbon last night, by the way. But you know, where we're from, it's like if we want that many vendors and that many people, you know, business wise, right? So if we want that many vendors to come to our party or something like that, it's like, okay, we'll come. What do we get out of it? You know, like that sort of thing.
Yeah.
Out here, people are like, fuck yeah, I would love to.
Yeah.
I would love to.
Yeah, for sure.
And to me, that is like, that's breaking bread right there. You know why? Because every single one of you that showed up, like, I support you. Yeah. I'm there for you. I'll repost about you. I'll talk about you. Not me. Yeah, I mean, not just me, but my wife will do it. My kids will do it. Our circle that we're building, they will do it. It's just awesome. You know, it's like there's an extreme value to that. And
it's the South.
It's
the dirty South. The deep South is what we do, man.
But it's awesome, dude. So, you know, it's like you might feel lonely right now, but you're building your circle, dude. And, you know, now I'm happy to be a part of it.
Oh yeah. Likewise.
Because I'm going to talk about you.
Good shit.
I'm going to talk about you.
I appreciate it. I'm going to talk about you guys.
Yeah, thank you.
Dude.
Thank you.
And we're just getting started, man. We haven't even recorded a full episode yet.
Yes.
And I still need to learn a bunch more about your journey. So we're going to get into these things too, man. So, but that was a really good segue. Now let's shift into, you know, post-military. Like that was a pretty powerful experience. Obviously, if you ever want to express those things on here, you can. But, you know, let's start gathering more of your journey. So obviously you got out. When did you get out of the Army?
October 2011.
Okay. Did you just decide you were like on to the next thing, or did you want to stay in?
Nah, dude, I was done. Yeah. Like I said, I just wanted to go get the t-shirt and come home.
So you got out, and what was after that, man?
Are you right now?
Yeah.
Yeah, you are.
I'm better than I've ever been.
You're the fucking best. Yeah. It doesn't matter if you're a millionaire yet, dude.
No, that's the thing.
Just keep going. You're the fucking best. And that's how we are. Dude, you walk into my house. Let's start recording.
Dude, it's crazy. Well, you talk about that. Like, and I think I had to reflect on that, man. I had to re-gear what success was. I did a video on this recently. But I've always watched like the Andy Frisellas and these guys and those guys.
I love Andy Frisella.
I do. But here's the thing. I look up to them, but I had to like reanalyze their message, because it's like, success is, you're never going to be successful. Tell yourself that. It's nothing, you know, it's so, but I became possessed by that mindset of like, I'm never successful. It's always out of reach.
Yeah.
When I had to re-gear what success was, you know, and I've got a slogan called hunt, eat, repeat. It's like you hunt down the goal, you eat, you actually take it in, you repeat. And I wrote a piece about bloodlust, but I've been like a werewolf in bloodlust, dude. I just get to a goal and I just rip it apart. I don't even eat the shit, and I go to the next kill.
Yeah.
Rather than just like, hey, I got to get that nourishment and then continue the hunt. Hunt, eat, repeat. And so I had to re-gear what success was. Dude, I've got a beautiful family. That's success. That's something I always dreamed of. I got to do a key lime festival based off of just a pie I love that raised money for a family. Like, that's successful, man. It's impactful. now it's just about leveling up that success. But so I, not knocking Andy Frisell, but like a lot of the stuff he said has had me in that had me in a very negative mind space. That's not his fault. I just perceived it the way I did. Right. When in reality, I think he's just talking to a younger version of himself. You know,
yeah, that makes sense. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So I've had to analyze different. I still think he's got a powerful message, but I know for me as an individual, I know who I am. And I know that when I'm a name like Andy Frisell one of these days, I'm going to be pushing my message of that success from a different standpoint. Yeah. But that's unique to me. If I preached what Andy Frisell did, well, then it wouldn't make me one of a kind. It wouldn't make me stand out. I'm going to deliver that message just in Joe's way, through his experience. Right. So that's the cool thing you get to think about.
That's the best way for you to do it.
Yeah. So I don't want to be Andy Frisell. I think he's awesome, but like I'm Joe.
There's only one of you.
Yeah, exactly, dude. So hell yeah, man. I'm the best at my shit. 100%.
The fucking best.
The fucking best, dude.
Hey, look, so here we go. It's not uncommon. I'm a morning guy, right? I like to get up early. I'd like to try to work out as early as I can. It's not uncommon for you to walk in my house and there's me fucking walking around the house. The best. We're the fucking best.
Hell yeah.
That kind of shit, and the girls are in their bed. Shut up. You know what I mean? And then Carly, she's doing whatever, laughing. Okay, all right, that's enough. And I'm like, no, we're the best.
The best.
It's just a mind.
Just amping it up.
It's just a mindset. You know what I mean? Like,
I think that's positive to do, man.
It is. It is.
It kind of reminds me, like, so every night and we'll get to your story, dude. It's been great conversation, man. I appreciate this. But I put my daughter to bed every night, and like she'll be passed out or maybe a little awake, but I'll talk to her every night. I'm like, you're so powerful. You're amazing. I'm like, it's just repetitive. Like, I'll be like, you're going to change the world. You're going to be loved by so many. Yes. You're going to make such an impact. Like I say these different things to her every time before I get to put her to bed. And then right when I lay her down, I'm like, no darkness can harm you. You're a light in the darkness. And I tell her lux in tenebris, which means light in darkness in Latin. Okay. And that's just like my ritual every night with her before I lay her down. That. And that's going to be embedded in her mind. And she's not going to come out, she's not going to be 20 years down the road like, I'm better than everybody else, but she's going to have that instilled confidence that like, no, I'm capable of whatever, but yes. I'm putting that there. I'm laying that foundation now.
Yes.
And I don't know, man, it's something to it. And I stay on top of it.
That is like that's a thing.
Yeah.
That's a thing. So like I mentioned sports earlier, I always did pretty good at sports as a younger kid. But my dad always told me, dude, you're the fucking shit. You're way better than him. You can kick his ass. You're faster than him. You're stronger than him.
Yeah.
All this stuff. So, I can confidently say, yeah, I do have a chip on my shoulder. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? I'm not an arrogant asshole.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like I do have a soft side, I got 3 girls.
Yeah.
I do have a soft side, but, we're the fucking best.
Yeah.
That's what it boils down to.
That's awesome.
And we're willing to put in the work. It just is what it is, there's a lot of other business owners who could understand.
Oh, 100%.
You understand everybody. You should get it.
Yeah.
You're the best. You guys are all the best.
Dude, and it's interesting you say that, and it's like, that the guy that was producing before, when I got canceled, he's like, man, it was a good run, but that's just such a big hit. And I realized in that conversation, I was like,
yeah,
I don't think that way. It doesn't matter where I'm at, how hard it is. Because if I quit and then my daughter's on her journey one day and she's like, Dad, but it got so hard for you. You stopped. I will never, ever forgive myself.
Yeah.
I'm going to teach her to go no matter what, man.
Yeah. I've learned, so as a girl dad, I've learned, girls are so much different than boys. It's like us, when you're a kid, your dad's like, fucking get out there and do it. You know what I mean? It's like, oh, fuck, I don't want to, do it. Okay.
With the girl, you're like, what do you need, honey?
Yeah, exactly. But the girls are like, oh, I don't want to. So here, a good example is my oldest one.
Yeah.
Mariah is her name. She just moved out here from California. She's starting her new journey.
Nice.
That's a whole nother topic. Anyways, Mariah is my oldest. She's always been real quiet, real shy. Mariah's a vibe. She's mellow.
Yeah.
But when she's little, she's very, very shy. I wanted her to get into boxing. Right. So, cause to me, I'm like, dude, you have you got a girl now, like, you got to teach her how to be tough, because there's going to be some asshole out there sometime in her life who's going to try her.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I hope not, but the possibility's there, right? So boxing it is. So she starts boxing. She did not want to do it.
Yeah.
Okay. Like, because we'd go watch the classes so I could, and I probably shouldn't have done it with boxing, but I'll always bring the girls to like watch a session or whatever so they can get comfortable and they can see what they're getting into.
Yeah.
Well, you go to a boxing gym, it's like everybody's getting punched in the face. You know what I mean? Like, and that's how it was with her. She was probably intimidated, whatever. So I told her, I said, look, you're going to try this for 3 months. If you don't like it after 3 months, that's okay.
Yeah.
We're not quitting. We're not quitters. We're not quitting, but we'll find something else that you can excel at.
Yeah.
And you will. She was reluctant to do so, but anyways, I got her in there. She started boxing, and within 3 months, she had the experience of what it's like to connect your hand to somebody's face.
Yeah.
And it's like, if you could throw like a clean right hook and land it perfectly, you get a feeling with that. Like you landed it, and it's a good feeling.
That's awesome, man. Dude, it's so crazy. We're so much alike, because I always tell everybody, like, because I do boxing, I do the bare knuckle stuff, and like every time my guys and I get together, we box like at least gloved. So my daughter's seen this at like, midsummer and stuff. Yeah. Seeing her dad out there. And so she's already getting accustomed to it. But I always tell everybody, like, I'm teaching her how to box. I'm training her on this. So it's funny you say that, because like that's one of the first things I'm going to teach her.
So she's like, so she was sparring, right? I think, dude, how old was she? She might have been 7, maybe younger. She was sparring. She's in the ring. She has her headgear on. She has her gloves up. And she's like, she was just getting, like, just learning how to use her shoulders and her hips, and she finally plugged it in with one punch, and she connected to this little boy's head. And I'm like, I'm standing next to the ring, you know what I mean? And like, I want her to cry. Oh my God, she did it. But when she landed it, she like circles back around the ring, and as she's circling back towards me, she's like this with her headgear. She's like, did you see that? Like, I just hit him. You know what I mean?
Yeah. You're like, we're the best.
Yeah, we're the fucking best.
Dude, that is awesome, man. Hey, yeah. I'll get to witness that one of these days. So needless to say, does she still box?
No. So she's 21 now. We stopped boxing. Then she was like really into MMA stand-up Thai boxing. Mm-hmm. She did that for a few years. She was good, dude. She was good. Like these sparring matches that we used to have with these kids, I don't want to make it sound weird. Like we used to get these kids together and have them to fight, but it was just like you get other gyms together so the kids can train, But these kids used to get down, like tons of talent, She took a smokers, and the girl that she boxed, coach lied to me like, oh yeah, she's never had any fights. My daughter, she got the best of my daughter, and I think that kind of hurt her ego a little bit. So during her downtime, she wanted to take some time off from training. Okay, cool. So during her downtime, I started giving her shit like, hey dude, it's been long enough. What are we going to do? We got to do something. We were watching TV one day, laying on the couch, and a rugby game came on, and she's watching it. She's like, do they have that for me? And to me, I'm like, do you want to play? Getting all excited. And she's like, I think I might be into it. Like, all right, cool. So started with the rugby journey, and she was badass.
Nice.
Badass, dude. So she had a really good rugby career. She also played lacrosse. She was really good at that. But her rugby is where she shined.
That's pretty cool, man. You don't hear about a lot of like females, like I don't talk to many people where their daughters are getting into all these kinds of things,
Mm-hmm.
but it's all stuff like I want my daughter to be like the epitome of like this feminine aspect, right? But I want her to be tough too. Like, I want her to be capable of shit. And I think if she has that side, that athleticism that's capable of dominating those kinds of sports, I think it's cool as shit.
Yeah. It's important, like my girls, I got 3 beautiful girls. They're all beautiful. But they're not to be fucked with. Like they'll let you know real quick.
That's good.
You know what I'm saying? They're respectable, they're professional, they're clean and always put together. They were raised to take no shit, and that's just the way it is.
That's awesome. Hell yeah.
You know?
Well, I'll just be kind of,
yeah.
I'll let you know, like 15 years down the road or whatever, how my daughter's doing. That's awesome.
Hey, when she gets older enough, we can get her into rugby. So we're actually starting so there's a deep history of rugby in Murfreesboro. I don't know if you know this or not, but it goes back to the 70s.
Really?
Yeah. And COVID completely killed it. So we're restarting a new foundation, Rutherford County Rugby Development Foundation.
Nice. For
boys and girls. Riverdale has a girls team. Murfreesboro has a boys team. We're actively recruiting.
Oh,
so
yeah.
Rugby is going to be alive and well in Murfreesboro again soon.
Good stuff, dude.
Yeah.
That's awesome. I want to go play some rugby.
Dude, let's do it.
I'm down. I need an outlet. So my buddy, one of my buddies, trying to get me into like hockey, because he's a hockey player, and I'm like,
rugby.
Yeah, I mean, I'm down with whatever. Apparently, they have a hockey thing they're trying to start where you put it on skates and the whole get up, but then you just do the fighting part. I was like, that's cool.
Shit. Okay.
He's like, do you want to do that? I was like, hell yeah.
Yes.
He's like, that sounds right up your alley. I'll teach you how to skate well. And I was like, yes. But anyways, dude, we're so off subject.
That's okay. All right,
dude,
let's go.
That's
All
awesome though, man. This is
focus.
good. No, this is solid. Hey, man, and that's the best thing about this platform too, man, is that it's like, I'm glad it's like that though.
Mm-hmm.
I'm glad we're able to dive into just these random things.
Yeah.
Because it shows that raw connection. So it's cool. Man, a lot of people, I got to stress to people too that come in on the podcast. I'm like, this is not an interview. Just don't think of it like that. It's a conversation. And I mean, I feel like that's been pretty true. So,
I mean,
yeah,
I came just to talk some shit. So let's do it.
Let's do it, man. So you were, I remember you were getting out of the military. That's where we're going to, like the next part of your journey. Yeah.
We're not way off.
Yeah. You're good, man. I mean, guys, just be ready for part 2.
Sorry.
No, dude, don't be sorry.
After the military.
After the military.
After the military, I wanted to come home and pursue my dreams as becoming a fireman.
Nice.
So when I came home, I went to school, started going to school full time, Santa Ana College. I went through their fire tech program, did all that stuff. And I had Danny, my youngest daughter. I had her like within the first year of me coming home, I think.
So your wife, when did y'all meet while you were in the military then?
No. So I got 2 baby mamas.
Oh, okay.
And my wife is not one of them.
Okay.
So she has 2 kids. I have 2 kids. And we're a blended family.
Understood.
After the military, pursued my dreams, trying to become a fireman. I went to school and all that stuff. I had my youngest kid, Danny. I wasn't getting paid, right? So I'm trying to be a fireman. I'm doing all this stuff. I'm going on ride-alongs, like pretty much lived at the fire station.
Yeah.
I had a really, really solid in to get hired, and I messed it up. If you're not making money, you got to figure out a way to make money. And I ended up getting in trouble. And I reached out to the guy who's my cousin, who's actually the captain of the station. And I told him, I'm like, dude, I got in trouble. This is what I did. He says, I'm sorry, dude. That's a deal breaker, So that was that. End of my firefighting dreams. So I joined the union and I started doing construction, which I was always, that's a comfortable space for me, being that, my dad had me doing it since I was so little.
Yeah.
I joined the laborers union because I figured like they were the most gritty and well-rounded. It's like laborers don't get enough hype.
Yeah.
When it comes to the trades, you have your carpenters, electricians, operators, laborers. Laborers are the guys that you might see picking up trash. You might see them running equipment. You might see them digging for 10 hours straight.
Just diversified.
Hard work.
Yeah.
I did that for almost 15 years. And during that 15 years, I went up in the ranks. I became general foreman, finally got my own crew. I started running jobs, started, meeting all the right people and stuff. And it was cool.
Yeah.
It was a good career. Well, during that time, I made, they say it's good to have like your 5, 10-year, 15-year plan, all that stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So while I was still doing construction, I'm like, dude, I'm going to try this 5-year plan thing, So one day I sat down and I wrote down all the goals I wanted to attain in this 5 years. And it was something like, So just backtrack just a little bit. This is before I had made my way up the ranks in the union. So the goals were something like become a foreman, then become a general foreman, have like a new truck, have money in the bank, and, you know, have the kids healthy and happy, something like that.
Yeah.
Well, the 5 years, dude, they came and went, man. And just when I was kind of getting tired of the job, right? And I had realized, like, oh shit, it's been 5 years. Here I am.
Yeah.
I got a new truck. I'm a foreman. My girls are like stoked. Everything's good. I got money in the bank, got a new crib, all this stuff. So I kind of stepped back and looked like I attained all my goals. I did it. And it was, I'm talking about it because it was so important to me, because that was the first time that I learned that I'm capable as a man.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I told myself these are the things that I wanted. Totally forgot about my 5-year goal, 5-year plan, you know, because it's just like you can't think about it every single day for 5 years, you know. But I learned I was capable, dude.
Yeah.
And then what that did is that kind of sparked my brain. During the end of that 5 years, this is when I met Carly, and we started hanging out. She was kind of at the end. She was kind of tired of her job too. So she's a nurse. I forget which job she had at the time, but she was over it. I was over my job because I learned I was capable. Let's try something new.
Yeah.
Right. So she's like, hey, I want to, thinking about starting a business. I'm doing what? She's like, Botox. Like, all right, cool. I want to do it too, you know? So I'm not a nurse. Yeah. So I had to find a device that you didn't have to be a nurse to use. So I quit my job. She quit her job. And we were out there, dude.
Doing Botox?
We're out there. So we started the business, stressing out every day. Are we going to make this happen? You know, started off in like a really small suite, like half the size of this. I got my device. It was a non-invasive radio frequency device for like skin tightening and cellulite and all that stuff. I still have it. But it's what helped me break into the industry.
Nice.
Alongside Carly while she's doing her Botox.
Dude, what if like shift? You go from like,
oh yeah, dude,
athlete to like military, gung ho, to like getting your hands dirty, to like, dude, I'm just going to jump into this new thing I've never even thought about trying before. Yeah. And you did it though. And like, it led you to now. So that's pretty cool, man. I appreciate people that are willing to just give something a shot, or like do it themselves and just jump into something head first and just, you know, but you believed in yourself enough to like, know you could succeed.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You saw that capability in that 5 years, and you're like, dude, I can do whatever.
I can do it.
That's badass.
Thank you.
Yeah, dude. I love that.
So, but yeah, that's how I went for that. You know, I went from the last job I had with big power plant company, and we used to do all the underground utilities, sewage, all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Anyways, we were dirt guys specifically. Went from playing in the dirt all day to the beauty industry. So yeah, it was another culture shock.
That's crazy, man. You're like, you get home from work and your hands are like nice and clean looking.
Yeah, man.
Like lotion.
Hey,
you're
I don't have soft hands by any means right now, but
you're like, man, these things are nice, dude. I can see them. They're not covered in shit.
Yeah.
I don't think I have to take a shower tonight. Like I can wait till the morning. That's funny, man. Well, dude, it's pretty cool though, man. I mean, and I think, dude, that's just more experience, though. You've experienced like so many different layers of things, like, you know, throughout work and your career and whatnot. So how long, you said you did that for 15 years. So I'd say when you started getting into the Botox and stuff, when was that? Like how long ago was that?
I think we're going on 7 years right now.
Nice, dude.
Something like that. Somebody out there is going to do the math and be like, he's full of shit. It's something like that.
2018 or something.
Okay,
like that,
yeah. 2017, 16. Something like that, dude. I forget exactly. Anyways, so yeah.
Damn. That's cool, man.
7 years, I think.
That's cool. And in the midst of this, you know, I know you were a part of the motorcycle world for a bit. What time frame was that?
That was during my construction career.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Was that pretty, like, you said that was a pretty, I don't know how those aligned much, but I mean, is both demanding places to be though, construction and the MC world, because that does demand a lot of time.
It does. The reason why I was attracted to it is because When I got home from deployment, it was just me and my daughter.
Yeah.
Right. I mean, I still had a strong circle of family. Like I still had my mom, my dad, stepdad, everybody was there. But to me, my vision was like, I just wanted to come home to my daughter so we could start our journey.
Yeah.
So I came home. When we got back from deployment, I got out of the Army, out of active duty, I think a month after that. So we didn't have time to do like the debriefing stuff, any of the like mental health awareness appointments and all these, all the appointments you go through.
Like, here you go to life.
Dude, I was just raw. You know what I'm saying? Like we got home from Iraq. I screwed around at the unit for another month and then I went home.
That's right.
So I'm a sucker for the Brotherhood, anything.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So yeah, motorcycles was something I thought I'd get my Brotherhood fix there.
Yeah, for sure, man. I find it's interesting. I was talking to somebody about this, and you got different crews and stuff that like, they're not very friendly with each other,
Mm-hmm.
And like I told you, my associations and whatnot. And it's like, but one thing I realized is like, being on my own, just riding solo in the world, like I've met dudes from guys that have been a part of other different clubs that may have been rivals or whatever that like, dude, they're cool as shit, man. Yeah. I'm like, dude, like these guys are awesome. Like, but I didn't, and I'm not here to like knock people, but it's like, man, I didn't realize why I ever had grudges towards this guy because he's actually pretty dope.
Right.
But like when you are in that world, no matter what circle you're in, it could be motorcycle clubs or any kind of club. Hell, I mean, there's people that are Titans fans that are like, I hate this team. And like, that guy's got that jersey on. Like, I'm not going to be friends with him. They could probably be best friends, but you hate him that much because he represents that team. And that's the interesting thing to me is that like, I don't know, man, you can miss out on some really positive and like powerful relationships just by that initial judgment or like, what you're supposed to do. Does that make sense?
Oh yeah. That makes perfect sense. Yeah. It's like, you never know what's going to happen. You know what I'm saying? It's like, what are you supposed to do? Like just stand, just see somebody and like you have to hate them. Yeah.
Well, it's like the internet, Instagram being like, well, I don't know if this is exactly why they did it, but they're like, oh, this is a pagan.
Oh God.
Ritual guy. And these white, you got head tattoos. They're like, nope. And it's like, dude, if y'all actually had a conversation with me and like, you totally think a little bit differently.
Exactly.
And that's the thing. We never, man, it's like all the time you got these circles everywhere and you got people that'll only ever just get to the very end of that circle, maybe the most, and they'll just appear over some shoulders and then that's their whole reality of it. Yeah. No one ever wants to actually step into the circle and get to know the people that are within that. And so, and then that's why we butt heads so much in this world. That's why there is such a rift and so much division because like we never want to step in any other circles. We don't have to stay there. Right. But we can at least get,
Yeah. Go check it out. Go rub elbows. Go break bread. Just see what's up,
But find out for yourself. We're at the last segment. We'll finish up. I know you got an appointment in a little while. It's been a good time today, man.
Yeah.
It's been a killer time. I'm really grateful. I feel like we could just cover so much more.
We could.
But I do want to touch on some things, before we close out today. Bridging into, because there's a lot of different parts of your story I think we could really we could talk for hours on. But that's cool. We'll get the bigger picture right now. So moving forward, you said how long have you and your wife been married?
A year.
A year.
Yeah.
And y'all, oh, really?
Yeah. We've been together for 7 years.
Oh, nice. So y'all met out there. You just took a chance, started that with her. And then y'all moved out here pretty much right after COVID.
Yeah.
Yeah. And was that the reasoning for the move or like, what was the initiate that? Cause that's all, pretty far.
Yeah. So there's a lot of talk about this stuff. You can go to any Facebook group and try to figure out why the Californians are coming here. There's a lot of reasons. Yeah. There's a lot of reasons. It's like there are a lot of people who left for political reasons. Yeah. There's a lot of people who left for other reasons. Yeah. We didn't move just because of politics. It's like your money goes further out here. Everything's not concrete. Tennessee's fucking beautiful.
It is.
There's great people here. The schools are good. You know, why wouldn't you go to a place like that? You know, why wouldn't you leave a place where everything is overpriced to come here?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah, that's the whole thing too, is like, you know, a lot of people you see on Facebook, they're like, stay away, California. It's like, but hey, put yourself in their shoes.
Yeah.
Like, would you want to get away? Like, and this could be wherever you're at that you don't like. You could be, then you have to be California. But if you hate it where you're at, or it's just not where you know, you're like, shit, man, I'm tired of all this.
Yeah.
You're going to want to go somewhere else. And like, yeah, dude, Tennessee's dope. It's like, why not?
It's great here. Backtracking just a little bit. So being out of California, and living in a different state was part of my 15-year plan. I thought we were going to end up in Texas, but we went to Texas, looked at properties and stuff, and drove around all over the place. You know, Texas is a cool place.
Yeah.
It's just not for me. So Carly was supposed to be in a bachelorette party. Plans fell through or whatever. She was stuck with her plane ticket. So, you know, she's like, hey, babe, how about we just get you a ticket and we'll go check out Nashville.
Oh, yeah.
So I thought, all right, cool. You know, let's check it out. Dude, as soon as we like got off the freeway, we're like, how much houses go for around here? Well, long story short, we left in escrow. So, yeah.
And here you are.
Here we are, dude.
Dude, I love it, man. Well, hey, I'm for one glad to have y'all here. I'm glad y'all moved here, man.
Thanks.
Yeah. If you're from California and you're like these guys, come on it. You know, we'll be friends and shit. And dude, honestly, but most people I've met from California aren't that bad. I don't know where the Facebook comments come from because I met some pretty dope people.
Yeah.
So if that says anything, I think everybody just gets all weird.
It's from the news. It's too much watching news. You know, they talk about San Francisco once or twice on the news out here, and everybody's like, that's how California is.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. And everybody there is like that.
Just stop. Okay.
Yeah, I know. They think you're just running around like you're a Kardashian or something.
Yeah.
Just,
Like, no,
but it's not how they all are. You know, one thing I want to dive into, you know, before I ask the final question, and then we'll get you back into, we'll cover some other things. If you got time for this, fatherhood with girls, you know, you talked about your one daughter, and I it's important for me to bring this up only because, you know, it's a special thing. We connect there. Yeah. You're just in a different place of that than I am.
I'm glad you asked this because I love talking about my girls.
Yeah.
I'm very, very, very proud of my kids.
Oh yeah.
So I have 3 girls. I haven't mentioned the other guy. We've got a son too. He's in California with his dad.
Okay.
Still. But he's also rad. He's into dirt bikes and stuff, you know?
Cool.
Fatherhood for me is everything. Okay. I love being a girl dad. Like my girls, they'll never know, but they have taught me so much. You know, like I grew up old school. I grew up getting smacked in the back of the head, you know, like shut up, do this, do that, do your fucking best. It better be great.
Yeah.
You know, it's just old school. It just is what it is. You know, different times you can't be like that with girls.
No,
you can't. Man, there's so many things I could talk about fatherhood. You know, watching the girls grow. You know, I was telling you about Mariah when she started boxing, and then how she excelled in rugby, and now she's out here. She just graduated school. She's going to be working with us. Our next kid, Kyla, she's going to school. She wants to be a doctor. She's got big dreams. We support her all the way.
Yeah.
And then our son Knox, you know, he's a boy. He's figuring it out. He's going to find his niche, and he's going to do something because we're going to hold him to it as soon as he comes up with the idea, you know. And then Danny, our youngest, the most spoiled, according to the older kids, right? Yeah. She's my baby. It is what it is. You know, you guys are going to have to deal with it. She is playing rugby. She's also boxed a lot. She did a lot of Thai boxing. She still plays rugby. She's doing great. She's a freshman right now. She wants to be a forensic scientist.
Cool. She in TSU?
No, she's in high school right now.
Oh, wait. Shoot. Okay,
Yeah.
So the other one. Okay.
Yeah.
Sorry there. So they've all been into that stuff. Cool.
Yeah, so Danny wants to be like, what do you call the people who like detective or something like that?
Yeah. So she wants to do all the forensic stuff, though, with like the blood and
like she wants to learn all that stuff and like figure out the case. Dang. You know what I mean?
I mean, there's some women love that stuff, dude. They watch like
they
the
do.
killer fight. I'm
Hell
like,
yeah.
that's a pretty specific path.
Yeah.
And to be at that age and be like, that's what I want to do. I think that's dope.
Yeah. I mean, I support it 100%, you know.
Yeah. Hell yeah, man. This is what we're going to close with. This is the most important question. I ask everybody this. And you can, you know, it could be within your profession and your personal life or both, whatever. But what is your relentless pursuit?
I love it. My relentless pursuit is to overall continue with the mission until I can't anymore.
Mm.
The mission is setting a good example for my girls, being a great husband, being the best husband I can be, being the best father I can be. And I really hope that I can leave a long-lasting image of myself on other people for the betterment of themselves.
Oh, yeah.
Does that make sense?
I love it, dude.
That's my relentless pursuit, is to continue to be the best.
Heck yeah, man. Beautiful answer. I think that's
Yes.
perfect.
Okay.
Didn't even need to go past that.
All
And
right.
dude, I mean, you've impacted me today. Learning your story, man. Like I admire you. I hold you to a high standard now. So now my expectation is that you're the best, dude. Which, you know, you live up to those things.
Yeah.
But no, I think one, you're a little bit. How old are you?
40.
40. Just a little bit older than me. But like, at the end of the day, you've got a family. You've had a lot of experiences, very similar to mine. We got a very similar journey in a lot of ways. And so, like, I see where you're at, and I see, you know, you're kicking ass. And it's funny because, like, our standards or our pursuits are very, like, pretty much in line. Like, I always tell people, I just want to be the best husband and father I can be, you know, and, like, to maintain that and keep driving forward and impact.
Yeah.
And so, like, I appreciate that, dude, because I love to see that, especially with people that are, like, building their own business and have been, you know, down a road that's a little rougher than some. And I appreciate all those aspects. So thanks for sharing that, man. I appreciate you coming on and sharing your journey, dude. It's been a killer time.
Thank you. I'm glad to be here. Glad to finally meet you.
Hell yeah, man.
I mean, if we could help you anyway, if we could break bread together, you know,
We're going to make it happen.
Come check out the office. You know, maybe the wives can meet if she's into anything.
Oh, yeah.
Send her by.
Yeah,
You
my
know,
wife's cool as shit, yeah.
We'll hook her up.
Yeah, I think, you know, they'd get along just based off of you. So, dude, let's make it happen, man. Any way I can support you guys as well, let me know. And Joey, man, I think that'll close out this one, and then we'll have to circle back around and touch on some other things. But thank you for your time. It was an honor having you, and excited to see what you make happen.
Thank you for letting me be here.
Hell yeah, my man.
Good to
Take
meet you,
care.
bro.
Yes, sir.
Hell
Likewise.
yes.
Hell yeah.